Hello everybody, Rich here and welcome to my Toyota throttle body teardown. This is off of my 2004 RAV4 and this video I'm going to take it apart for you, show you what's inside and see if we can find the fault which I was having, which was the throttle wasn't always shutting right down. It'd sort of go up to about 1000 RPM and stay there. It wouldn't always come back down again. Anyway, I've got another one, got another throttle body off of eBay, fitted it, and everything's okay. So this is the one that's been playing up. As you can see, it's riveted, and so I'm going to have to drill it out to get inside to see what's going on. This throttle body, as I say, is fitted on quite a lot of Toyotas. Anyway, so I've drilled it out, and you can see there that the pop rivets are drilled out, and now we're going to try and open up the plastic part off of the metal part. I speeded this up simply because it took me much longer than I expected. You'd think that a few little pop rivets would be very easy to get off, but unfortunately they were not. They were very stubborn little beasties, and maybe I should have drilled it out a bit more, but I didn't want to completely destroy the plastic piece on the top, because I wanted to show you guys what it looked like when we got it open. So as I said, I've speeded, as you can clearly see, I've speeded the video up to get around the boring parts. Anyway, so off comes the top with a bit more force than I expected actually, and it ended up on the floor as you're about to see. There you go. So how to take the top off your throttle body, and you can see the two prongs there, which are the electrical connections for the motor. Very clever design by Toyota, that you can actually just take that part off and all the connections come with it. No harm done. It would go back together if you wanted to. This part here is the sensor for the position of the throttle body. It doesn't turn, it's solid. It's called a Hall effect, and there's a magnet inside the throttle body, which I'll show you a bit later on, which actually registers the position of the position of the throttle. That's the magnet inside there, and that all turns as you increase and decrease the throttle through these gears. Now, as I said, this unit itself is playing up, so I'm trying to see what is the problem, why it's sticking open slightly. But to be honest, it all looks fairly good. Now, if you want to do this with your throttle body, do it at your own risk. If you end up breaking or whatever, so it's down to you guys. But I'm doing this so you don't have to. As you see, really well put together. It all comes apart quite easily once you get the plastic parts off. This is the motor. You can hear that noise, which I'm not happy about. The rest of the parts seem to be quite good. Turn quite easily. Quite solid, no play. That tiny bit of play on the butterfly, the brass piece called the butterfly, is quite common on these and is quite standard, so don't worry too much about that if yours has got that on it. But mine's got a serious rattle that's coming from the motor part. And there's quite a lot of movement before anything's actually happening. And the motor turns quite freely and doesn't seem to be any issues with it at all, to be honest, but still getting this funny sort of rattling noise. Back to this part again, as you can see clearly that there's no marks or damage or anything in there, so nothing's rubbing. This part here, the actual circuit board is made into the plastic, so no problems there. Very, very clever, very well put together. That's the position sensor again for the throttle, and down in that hole is the magnet. Now, like I said before, I can't actually find anything wrong with those parts. Everything seems to be exactly as it should be, which is a bit annoying since putting the replacement one on has actually cured the fault. So there is something wrong with this unit. Again, I'm pointing to the Hall effect pickup for the throttle position, which ends up going inside that hole when you actually put the body back together again. Now what I did notice was that noise, you can hear that rattle from the motor. There it goes again. So there's a lot of free play in the motor before it actually turns anything. There it is. That is the problem. There's left and right movement in the motor, which is causing a slackness, if you like, a delay in the actual turning of the throttle. So the throttle is not shutting down, it's the motor's actually moving. Inside there the motor part is moving, but the throttle is staying in the same position. So that is actually the problem. I suspect the bearings maybe inside the motor have worn out and they're giving too much sideways movement. Anyway, like I said, I bought another one off of eBay and fitted that, and it's been fine ever since. But it's nice to get to the bottom of these things to actually see. You can see the amount of slack there. I'm turning that and nothing's happening on the butterfly. So it's the motor itself, and it's moving backwards and forwards in its actual mount, only very, very slightly, but enough to cause issues with the actual position of the throttle. So there we are. That's the fault found, which is absolutely brilliant. Glad to actually get to the bottom of it. And what I'm going to do in a second is actually put some power on it so you can see it in operation. Actually see it turning around as if it was connected up to the car. There's the magnet, like I said. You can see me putting the screwdriver on it, and that's what picks up the position. So that feeds it back to the to the car's ECU to tell it where the actual throttle is, and that works with your throttle position sensor that's on your throttle pedal, and they work together with this as a sort of a feedback to tell it when it's in the right position. So you put your foot down, that sends a signal to the ECU, it moves the throttle body, the signal comes back and it holds it in that position, or in my case doesn't because the motor's not working. Anyway, putting it back together, I've got a little 12 volt supply that's just out of shot, and I'm going to first of all put 12 volts on it, but I've removed the gear because I want to make sure that the motor's going the right way. You can hear how rough that motor sounds. It's not very smooth because it's wobbling about inside its bearings. So anyway, this is with 12 volts and it's really fast, really fast. You know, I suppose if you're a racing driver it might move around like that, but really, really, really quick. So I'm going to turn the power down now. I've got a variable supply, so I'm putting about 2 or 3 volts on it, which is what the computer's ECU in your car would do. So you can see the butterfly coming round, going from shut position to full throttle. And that's just a demonstration of how the actual thing turns the butterfly. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed putting it together for you, and if anything, you now know how a Toyota throttle body works. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.